time I see another breaking of the day, I'll say thank you, Lord. I'll say thank you.
My dad really influenced my early life. And my dad is someone who did many things. Had a lot of wealthy friends. But you can't say he's wealthy. But he really influenced and shaped my thinking. Shaped my thinking into being content and how to keep home.
Through the ages, many of those who have changed the course of their societies have had their perspectives of life molded by happenings in their environment or from home by parental disposition. For Oluremi Tinubu, the youngest of 12 children and the last of 9 girls, her understanding of life was shaped by her father, who was a purser on a ship.
And I was very, very skinny. Even the wind, when it blows too harsh in those days, I'll fall. So that was how frail I was. But my dad took interest in me to make me stay alive. And he also helped me boost my self-esteem. Like even in my early years, I remember when I became, I had a chieftaincy title in Lagos. And I was in my 30s, and I asked, my mom would say, "You are too young to have." I said, "Papa, I call him Papa, am I too young?" He said, "No." And I remember that time he would address me as chief. He loves to write to me, and he has all these cursive handwriting, and that's how I still write up till today. But with my mom, she was a handsome mom. She did her responsibility as a mom to me. Taught me how to pray. So for her sacrifice, if I call her, if I need her, she's there. So for that, I think I'm grateful.
Born on September 21, 1960, to an Ishekiri mother, Patience Agnes, and an Ijebu father, John Adetoye Ikushebiala Odugbeson. Not much was known about Oluremi, an educationist and administrator with a bachelor's in education from the University of Ife and a national certificate of education in botany and zoology from the Adeyemi College of Education, until the election of her husband, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as governor of Lagos State in May 1999.
So over 33 years together, it's just a life that was evolving. I remember when we used to, there are some things that I would do that is not in place, but I learned quickly.
Between 1999 and 2007, covering the 2 terms of her husband as governor, Oluremi was an exemplary first lady.
I'm not the one who really want much from life. I'm not the one for public life, but it's as if life and destiny is just pushed into your doorstep, and then you just have to rise to the occasion. They said a fool at 40 is a fool forever. I grew up when I turned 40. It's like full focus for me that what I really want to do with life. I turned 40 when my husband was governor of the state. So it's not a position for young people. And if my predecessor had done it, I was quite old to even be in that position at 40. Because my predecessor then was Mrs. Munira at Marwa. And she was pretty young. She was still having, babies. And she did an excellent job. So that was quite challenging. So for 40, I know, if there's a first lady in the state that was quite younger than I am, then I shouldn't be kidding around. So that's the way I saw it. But after 40, I grew up.
She revived and rejuvenated the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials, COWLSO, which had been founded by Mrs. Olufunmilayo Johnson, wife of the first governor of Lagos State, Brigadier General Mobolaji Johnson. Mrs. Tinubu deployed COWLSO as a platform of support for good governance through effective social interaction. Putting her mouth where her heart was with the establishment of the New Era Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to youth development, girl-child education, women empowerment, and mentoring young persons to excellence.
I don't work for profit. That's why most of the things I do is non-profit. So that one influenced the youth camp through New Era Foundation. Okay, New Era Foundation was where we have Spelling Bee and we have the youth camp.
In 2006, New Era Foundation began developing the New Era Youth Camp Nyoka, the first ever purpose-built residential youth camp in West Africa. The camp is designed as a world-class youth development facility offering value-based, non-formal education using the highly effective experiential learning technique. Nyoka was established specifically to provide access and opportunities for young people in Africa and the rest of the world to enjoy a time away from home in the company of other young people from other cultures, share experiences, imbibe team and leadership values, learn and be mentored by experienced leaders who have made a mark in their different fields of endeavor.
So the youth camp we started building since 2007. Are we there yet? Up till how many years after? Almost 13 years? Not yet. But we are getting there because it is people who donate these buildings for us.
One of the education-centered programs of the New Era Foundation is the annual Spelling Bee competition to raise educational standards in public schools.
My husband was governor then when I first paid attention on Spelling Bee. We've always heard about Spelling Bee being moved from state to state in America. But that time I really sat down to watch, and within 30 minutes I knew how I can improvise that.
The competition, which started in 2001, is categorized into two distinctive levels, the primary and secondary, to allow for equal pairing in the students' intelligence quotient and intellectual abilities. Prizes for the winners range from cash to an all-expenses-paid students' educational exchange program abroad and the rare opportunity for the overall winner to become the one-day governor in Lagos State.
During the time he was going to work that morning, and he was saying, oh, I would have loved to have somebody to be, governor for one day. They used to do mayor for a day. I said, oh, I have the person. We are doing this Spelling Bee competition, and I think, despite the cash prize, to be governor for one day will be the height of it. And you see, every child that really wanted to be governor, I can't tell you how they pushed. What really helped me was in our time, we did oral English. We did oral English, and it helped us. And we are just children coming from different spheres in society. Now it's only the poor people that, or the average or middle class that go to public schools. That was one of the things that made me do Spelling Bee. I see other competition, and it's children from private schools that win. And that, for me, automatically will give a child from public school an inferiority complex. So what do I do to really boost their self-esteem? So the Spelling Bee was strictly for public schools. And so that really pushed the bar for them.
The Spelling Bee competition has impacted much on participants and winners who have gone on to be first-class university graduates.
Winning the competition actually just shot me to the spotlight. It made me understand that I must be successful, right? Because I was already successful here, you cannot stop. You cannot rest on your oars or your laurels. If not, you'll just be seen as a flash in the pan. So yes, it impacted on me.
One thing that still strikes me till today that event had over me was a mindset change. I used to be a very average student before I won the competition. But after winning, I rose to be the one-day governor. So that really spurred me to go beyond my limits and be the best I can actually be.
At that time, nothing else was that interesting on TV for young people to aspire to. So I followed that dream. And it showed me that if I could really persevere and keep working hard, and there's surely something that can come out of it.
She taught us never to live as begging for handouts. And that is why we are successful. Most of us are very successful today.
I see this as a product of selflessness. on the part of Senator Oluremi Tinubu and everything that she stood for. So I'm inspired to want to continue to advocate for the rights of girls and women, for the rights of the marginalized in society, for the rights of the vulnerable in society, and to contribute significantly well in every sector I find myself.
She's a very unforgettable woman for me. She gave me a platform that really launched me on a very high springboard of life, and I'm forever grateful to her.
There was another girl who was third in primary school category. The father was a megad, you know, a night watch at one of the leasing offices, and from the north.
Federal Ministry of Works, they work for money, but in a cleaner they do there. So the seminar on security they do for night.
He stayed with his fellow northerners, his brothers and all. So they didn't value education. They don't see any reason why they should send their children to school. Later, my dad noticed that for him to be able to send his children to school, we have to leave that place. So we vacated. That was the basic reason we left the place. We moved. And I started my school, my primary school in Papa Primary School. They kept calling me, you know, for this, best in that. In fact, because of that experience, they started sending their own children to school from that day. When this Mama Spelling Bee came up, I went from different level. You know, they would do local government level. I think from the school level to they will pick. So in my own case, in school, they didn't even have to stress themselves. They took me to a local government level. I came out as the top best. You know, they were preparing us to go for the Spelling Bee for the New Era Foundation. Spelling Bee, the NGO owned by Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Okay, so from there, I went and finally we got to the final stage. So I came third, and that was how my journey of meeting Mama, or my journey with Senator Oluremi Tinubu started. That was how I met her.
So when they want to go to the secondary, so they come to the common entrance. So in name come appear of Federal Government College Janiki. So as in name come appear there, now I come go to that place. As I come go to that place, I come see that when I come see name there, they come write I think no 81,000. Following money, he just jot up. Baba, I say yes. He saying go write letter. I say go write letter to who? He saying go write letter to Tinubu. Why? Now so I carry the letter go there. Following money, now the madam Tinubu saying the two motor where they get light for up. They come to our house there for our papa. He carry out for their motor. They go to the Janiki. They come pay the 81,000.
Then she even took me to the market. I think Teju will show market here, but then she bought me everything to the littlest of stuff I needed.
One time like this, come calling my daughter, come go there. I say okay. I say, Mama no get anything to help. Only over they do this thing. Take the 250,000, go give her. Make it sell to small market. Madam come give her. So that time when we there, Papa, the later they come break that place. So as they break the place now, we go. My daughter come write to the madam. So water there, we get one room for that place there. Madam come pay for like 1 year.
Then 2012, you know, I got admission 2011. My sister got admission 2012 into Unilag, medicine and surgery also.
When she even said she was going to meet Mama, my mom was like, no, that is not right, because she has done a lot for the family. She's basically taking care of the family, sending us money, giving you scholarship from secondary school to university. That it won't be fair taking another burden to her. My sister was like, let's just go and give it a try. So she called Mama, and Mama told her that she wanted to see me. That day I went to see her. That was the same day Mama gave me the whole money. She even gave me SS that I should pay for my school fees, registration and everything. I thought it was going to end there, but it didn't. Mama continued sending me to school. Like she said she put me on a senatorial district scholarship. So she started giving money every year for school. So when I finished, December last year, I was thinking of where to get the money for clearance. I needed more than 200, 250 and above. But when I called, I wrote it in letter as that same Mama. But Mama surprised me and sent me 500K. That 500,000, I was so shocked that, oh, okay, she did this. If not, now I'm proud to say that if not for Mama, my sister and God, I don't think I'll be a medical doctor today. Sometimes when I see her, like I'm hungry for success. Like I just want to be like, oh, I want to be like her one day. That I want to be someone that will be able to give back. Because if not for this woman, I don't think I'll be where I am today. my sister too won't be where she used to be. My family will not even have anything to say. So as if God just sent her to just bring up the family and lift up. So I'm proud to say it's because I'm here, I'm where I am today because of Mama. And she not only sponsored me through school, I learned some moral values from her too. Because one thing I know about her, like, Mama, she likes respect. So there was a day we were having a meeting with her, and she was asking me some questions, and I kept saying, yeah. You remember?
Yes.
Then Mama was like, yeah, that nowadays children, what are people becoming that you're talking to an elderly person and you keep saying, yeah, that does not show respect. So from that day onward, I stopped using yeah. Then spiritually too, she's 100%, she's perfect. Like, I can't say anybody is perfect, but she's good. Sometimes when I say, I'll be like, a lady in her status and all. Like when we go, she preaches, she'll quote Bible verses for us, she'll do everything, and I'll be like, wow, our spiritual, she's spiritually sound too. That I just want to be like this woman. So that one too pushes me forward, like, okay, pushes me to do more, like I want to give back. When I wrote the letter, I told her I just want to be like her. I want to be like, she's my role model, and I'm proud to say it.
Touched by the plight of widows, especially the childless ones, Senator Oluremi Tinubu established Patience Home, administered in partnership with the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Throne of Grace Parish, Region 1. The home offers temporary accommodation to the widows for a period of 6 to 12 months, during which they will learn various vocations for survival and economic independence. On completion of training, Patience Home empowers them with take-off funds for integration back into regular life.
I've always wanted to do something for childless widows. I remember there was a film that they did, The Widow, and I was thinking, for a widow to be treated this way, and you have children for this man, what will happen to someone who doesn't have children? It must be very harsh. If they can do this to her, get everything, then it means that they are going to, kick the woman who doesn't even have a child out of the house. And then the stigma that, even her family will say, oh, she's a witch. That's why she didn't have children. Those one too would not even want to associate. And you see, most women that don't have children are loved by their husbands. And I thought, if the husband, their number one supporter, is dead, what happens to them? So some would even be driven out with nothing. So why don't you have like a halfway house that any widow can always come? So that one, from New Era days, I knew that if I have a youth camp, that I want somewhere, I want it big, so that all my work can be in one place.
And since then, they have been doing very well, because different type of studies, as you heard them say.
The NBT, I think, she skill acquisition, want to cover any hairdressing.
I experienced much things than before. How to do short pastry.
This place helped me a lot. It helped me.
While I came here, I didn't know much about tailoring. Yeah. So my coming here have exposed me more on different designs and all that. So I'm grateful about that.
Yes, they teach us many patterns, and there are many patterns, not only one. There are different patterns and different designs.
I acquired so many knowledge there under the fashion designing department.
I'm so happy about it. I thank God, because the opportunity, at least with the settlement, there's the empowerment, we can go out there and help ourselves.
It's a mother indeed. Since when Ibatati was be power. Because she's been mother indeed to us. She always come here, advise us. She's so generous.
She cannot see anybody suffer. Also, she's disciplined, but at the same time compassionate.
I never know there's a person like that in Nigeria. When my husband died, I thought there's no hope. So God now used her to bless me. So because now I have hope.
She's a very caring mother. I can say she's everything, because I have never seen this kind of person. She's a virtuous woman. She's a woman that doesn't want people around her to cry. When you're hungry, she gives you food. When you're thirsty, she gives you water. She's such a woman.
Her passion for the youth is boundless. Seeking opportunities to help them give expression to their innate talents, Mrs. Tinubu started the Musical Youth Fiesta Initiative, an interdenominational gospel concert and competition featuring youth choirs and groups coming together in the spirit of unity and healthy competition.
When I attended a program in Mountain of Fire and I saw young girls, the GO bought each of them guitars. Even the little kids are playing guitars. But there is a particular group, I think they are teenage girls. They call them the guitar group. And they were playing so beautifully. And I thought in my mind, if I can get these people on the stage, right from the event that I went to, I said if I can get them to somewhere like a hotel. A hotel would take 5,000 people. And I was thinking about Jesus feeding the 5,000. So that is the way my mind runs. And I said, you know, with that, then if I have like 5,000, and then there won't be any pressure. I'm not trying to look for the best musician. I'm just trying to encourage children to just pick up an instrument, or if you want to, any extracurricular activity, force it on them. But you know that it has to come with incentive.
The annual event serves as a veritable platform for the youth to pool their collective talents and resources to set the pace and chart a way forward for other youth in the society.
But what I also did was to engage and also engage them in their spirituality. I got only churches, church choirs, their youth choir to participate, not just open to any public. So it has to be church song. Because then you will remember that there are a lot of youth unrest, cultism, a lot of things going on in youth. But if you don't engage them, what do you expect?
A spin-off of the Musical Youth Fiesta Initiative was the Leadership Academy for Girls, also known as the Musical Youth Fiesta Initiative Leadership Academy for Girls.
I mentor girls, for 20 girls at a time, for a period of a year. Once a month, 2 hours once a month. But one of my daughter got sick, so it was really tough. I remember the first 2 years, the third and the fourth year, that especially the third year when my daughter was in hospital, critical, I would leave my daughter in hospital to come and do Leadership Academy. That was tough for me.
Ever conscious of the still small voice of the Spirit of God, Senator Tinubu obeyed the prompting to minister to the Generation Next woman by incorporating the Daughters of Zelophehad ministry in 2017.
I thought, you know, when God puts you in the public space, you owe it to the society, you owe a lot of people to just live right. You don't have to start becoming a challenge for society and trying to influence people wrongly. And so that's why. So that was what gave birth to the Daughters of Zelophehad.
It is a non-profit organization dedicated to making impact and equipping women for leadership positions, building marriages and homes for God's kingdom. A Christian platform providing resources for raising godly children, bringing healing to victims of gender-based violence and rape, mentoring women on marriage, career, and leadership issues.
I also thought I wasn't going for a third term. So I decided that, you know, I'll go back to doing my charity, then I can begin to speak to, from university to university. You know, I just had this all, you know, put up and designed in my mind that I'll go from one school to the other, speak to young people, try to teach them in the way of the Lord.
Everyone has agenda. But if you don't know it, you will just end up like that. No, you have agenda. But you will discover it.
Oluremi's foray into active political participation began in 2011 when she was elected to represent the Lagos Central Senatorial District on the platform of the then Action Congress of Nigeria.
I find myself in places I did not bargain for. First, I'll tell you how I got to run for Senate. And I see my husband just raising leaders here and there. I said, how do you build and not inhabit what you are going to build? You are the politician. I thought maybe you still have more places you want to go politically. So why you will struggle and do all this? I said, why are you not running again? He said, it's not the time. It will raise people. Then I said, okay, it's either you are doing this so that me, I can get a bearing on my life. I said, but if you are not running, I'm going to run. No. The Bible tells me I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Senate came, and each time up to now when I go to the Senate, when I'm driving in and I saw the intimidating building of the National Assembly, I marvel. I will say, God, I thank you. You counted me worthy to be amongst people making decisions for my nation. It is humbling.
A deep, thorough, and painstaking person, Oluremi Tinubu has brought these personal attributes to her calling as a senator. She introduced the following schemes to the benefit of her constituents: the Petty Traders Employment Capital Scheme, the Elder Citizens Assistance Scheme, the Post-Secondary School Scholarship Scheme for indigent students, Widows Economic Empowerment Scheme, among others. She is the first ever woman to be elected to a third term in the history of the Senate. She successfully secured the sum of 337 million naira funding from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, for 3 education-biased institutions in Lagos State: the Michael Otedola College of Primary Education, the Adeniran Ogunsanya College of Education, and the Lagos State University. On the global level, she contributed to the post-Civil War rebuild effort in Liberia by donating the Oluremi Tinubu Elementary and Junior High School, Mount Barclay, located in the township of Johnsonville, Montesrado County, Liberia. She is the mother of Zainab and Habibat, now full-grown adults leading successful private lives. Mrs. Tinubu writes a book every 5 years. These books chronicle her experience within the period preceding. The books are written under the general title of The Journey of Grace.
I'm a faith girl, and that's why I wrote all my memoirs. The tiny book I wrote, The Journey of Grace. You see, my very first one said my faith walk.
Anytime I see another breaking of the day, I'll say thank you, Lord.
Anytime I think about the breaking of the day, I say thank you, Lord. So every day for me is a blessing. For me to be alive at 60 is a lot of blessing. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the friends I have, people I meet, people who have influenced me. And for 60, I'm still going. I've not really achieved something too tremendous, but every day is, you know how Apostle Paul said, forgetting those things that are behind, pushing forward towards the higher calling of God. And I think that's where I am at now. I still believe I still have more to do. So it's not about the number of what I do, but it's how well I do it.
Happy 60th birthday, Senator Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, OON.
For one more